Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with LaRock and Lady Bex.
Welcome everybody to a cool Friday night up in the Bronx, right here in good old New York City. This is LaRock on the radio, Lady Bex, and we are so glad that we are back on the Sisterhood Radio. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night. I'm glad that the snow stopped snowing. First of all, that we have no more snow.
Or the sleet.
I don't know, the slush, whatever was going on, it was a hot mess. It was totally a hot mess. I did this week. But if you are in the tri-state area, you'll hit up with a nor'easter that came down upon us Tuesday. And then, was it Tuesday? No, Wednesday. It came down Wednesday and we kind of were snowed in. School was out for 2 days.
Not in the Bronx.
Sorry, not New York City.
Not New York City public school system.
I don't know, Mayor de Blasio wasn't playing that this time. He's like, no, y'all good.
You know, last time they thought we was going to have that storm and it was clear as day.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it was clear as day that morning. That morning it was like, raining a little bit. It was great. And then it just came.
Depending on what section you lived at, because when you was on the southern, what do they call it? It's the west Bronx. It was like a little rainy. When you got to the North Bronx, you had the snow. So the further you went upstate.
Right. Cool. Well, I'm glad that we are here and listening. I hope that you guys are listening out there. You're going to call us, have a conversation, and you're joining the Sisterhood Radio with LaRock and Lady Bex and DJ All-Star. We're all here, and we're talking about some good stuff that's all about empowering, inspiring, and supporting Black women in culture. Just remember that. That's what the Sisterhood is all about. Shout out to all our friends on Facebook and also on Instagram. Y'all hit me up on Instagram all the time. I appreciate that. The crazy thing is, oh shoot, sorry, my bad. The crazy thing is, on Instagram, I'm getting a lot of people, like, across, like, the not United States, but global. I'm getting mad people who are in, like, Europe. So, what's up to our sisters up in Europe? Okay, I appreciate y'all, okay? We're all part of that unity. Wakanda forever, right? I'm still talking about that.
Forever.
Yo, I'm all about that. I'm all about that still.
Saw that movie 3 times.
Really?
I'm about to take my kids from the schools there too.
Oh my gosh, I still just saw it just one time. Maybe this weekend. Well, I want to support Wrinkle in Time this weekend. We also got to support our female directors out there doing their thing. I can't get this thing on here. So, you see this? I can never do that. We always want to support, huh? Oh, okay. Always want to support our female directors out there. Ava DuVernay, I think that's her name. She's out there making wonderful movies. She was directed Selma and other movies. I think she did 13th, the documentary that's on Netflix. I think she did that too. Oh, thank you so much. Anyway, she has a movie, Wrinkle in Time. We always want to support our sisters out there and watch a movie. Okay, good movies. I was very inspired by Selma. So inspired by Selma, I took my kids to Selma, Alabama. Sure did. Walked right across that bridge too. Anyway, guys, it is a Sisterhood Radio, and I'm so happy that we are here today, and we are talking about some great topics, and we're also talking about celebrating Women's Day. You know, it's March. March is Women's History Month, but just like Black History Month, it's 365. You know, we all came from who? A woman, right? So we always want to celebrate that and that woman in your life, or your mother, your sister, your aunties, and appreciate that female presence as always. And we're talking about, of course, today, something that, Lady Bex and I talk about a lot. Right, Lady Bex?
Yep.
We're talking about Black women and insecurities. Let's chat about it, okay? You can always call us up around, let's see, anytime, we're going to give a time today. Maybe 8:45, give us a call.
Oh, anytime. They can call.
Any good time?
That's okay.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay
Yes.
for everybody.
Join the discussion, right? Because we all the time we don't want them to hold their thoughts. They forget what they want to say. So please join the discussion. Like Larock said, we are discussing about women insecurities, black women and their insecurities. So if you want to chime in on some of those things, please feel free to call us up.
347-708-0216.
You're listening to iAccess Radio right now. Please, I want you to get the app, okay? Go on your phone, get the app. Watch right now on Ustream.tv. Go to search, type in iAccess Radio Live. It's all one word. Make sure that you are listening, and also you can watch me right now because I'm not going to have my Facebook Live the whole time like I usually do. I got to save my battery. But I want you guys to go ahead. I want you to hashtag iAccess Radio. Say that you're listening to the Sisterhood. Tag me if you know me. Okay, my real government. I want you to tag me if you're on my Facebook. If you're listening on Instagram on the Sisterhood Radio Show, please tag me. Okay. Make sure you let me know that you're listening. I want to know who's out there listening to us. We know we have a lot of people listening, but we don't know where you are. So I want to know who you're listening from. You can call in at any time, 347-708-0216. Watch right now on Ustream.tv. Go to the search engine and type in iAccess Radio Live, and you can see us smiling and teasing it up.
Yeah, I put on my coconut oil tonight. You better watch. Come on, call in.
Exactly. But
that coconut oil.
We're talking about insecurities, black women insecurities today. And there's so much information on this topic. In the past, we talked about everything. We talked about self-love. We talked about co-parenting of our last topic. Everything that pertains to the black community, because the fact that a lot of different situations that never been brought up in the public, that we're kind of saying in our little circles. We want to bring that on air right now. We want to make sure that you are part of the conversation. We enjoy listening to our brothers too. Guys, if you're listening, I know this is called the Sisterhood, but we want you to listen too. We want you to chime in too. We want to hear your opinion. But I'm right there, right back at you, with my opinion. I'm very opinionated.
Yeah, watch out.
I'm very opinionated. But just watch your back, because I'm right there. Okay? Right, DJ All-Star? And also, of course, we're going to be playing some good music, playing some Biggie, of course, playing some of that. I want to hear some Salt and Pepper. I love female artists, and this is, we still want to respect the female artists out there. And what I want to say real quick before we go into it is that if you would like to be a guest on our show, I want you to email us at thesisterhoodspeaks@gmail.com. Sisterhood spelled like the real sister. Okay, so I'll do it again. Sisterhood at, that's not it? No. You know what? Forget about that. Hold on.
It's the Sisterhood, SISTAH, hood.
Oh, we did do it that way.
For our email.
My bad. But you know what? If you want to be a guest on our show, you want to come here and promote what you got. Females out there, if you are an artist, if you are a recording artist, you want to come out here, you want to play. We want to play your music. We play your music for free. Just make sure you send an MP3 to the sisterhoodspeaks.com, spelled then sister, SISTA, hood, speaks.com. If you go to my Instagram page, it's the Sisterhood Radio, DM me and I'll send you information, okay? We will play your music for free. You want to come on the show, we'll send you the deets, okay? And what's up?
Sisterhoodspeaks@gmail.
What else?
Sorry, our email is the sisterhoodspeaks@gmail.com. So that's the sisterhoodspeaks@gmail.com. That's SISTA hoodspeaks@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Yes, that's right. And come and join the conversation. Let's talk about whatever topic we're talking about at that time. And also promote what you got. Okay? We're using this platform right here for our sisters to come out here and promote whatever business that you're in, hair, makeup, dance, gym, anything. You know what I'm saying? We want you to promote what you got. It's very important. So, it's Women's History Month. And do you have anybody you want to
talk about yours first?
Well, it's Women's History Month, and I kind of wanted to just talk about or just chat it up. Someone in history that you kind of, or it could be anyone really, a woman that you looked up to and that you inspired to be like, or someone that you just felt that motivated you. It could be alive. They can be that passed away. It could be a female in history. I have so many. I so respect the black female struggle. Black female struggle. But I so respect black women, especially in the earlier part of last century. Okay, who not only gave birth to a nation, but also was there at the front lines, in the struggle. And I love that. When I talk about Angela Davis, when I'm talking about Cleaver, I can't think of her name, Kathleen Cleaver, the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther Party that started in Oakland, California. I see that, and I feel like I'm so motivated by them because they were given death threats, and they were given, they were treated poorly, they were beaten and everything, but they were still giving birth to children, they were still being mothers, they were still being wives, they were still making money, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to give a shout out to all of our militant black women leaders out there who are still alive today. Respect to Angela Davis and Kathleen Cleaver, and there's a bunch of them. I give respect to them because they were only doing what they were supposed to do, and also we were supposed to be given these rights anyway, right, as American citizens, and we weren't. When I was talking about reading about the welfare program and how that started, and the breakfast program, and how the Black Panthers Party started that. They wasn't feeding our children our community rights. So guess who started feeding our children? We started. Okay, and so and there was a lot of women right there supporting that cause. So we want to respect those women who went to jail for us. They were the FBI watch, right? They were considered terrorists back in the 70s, which is ridiculous now. But I want to respect them, and those are my heroes, the women of the Black Panther Party. Still respect for the men and women who are still being jailed today because of that, by the way. But that was it. So what's up, Lady Bex? Who you gonna say?
Say I respect all the black people.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, same thing that you said, but also respecting, give a lot of respect. Or I look up to my mom a lot because it encouraged me to be where I am today. Like if it wasn't for her, I don't know what I would do as a young mother with two children, at the time 2 children at the age of 21. So for her push to make me to continue to go on and move on is why I'm so successful today. So thank you, Jerry Askew. I can see the whole government out there, but it's all good.
Hi, Auntie.
That's right.
So think about that, ladies and gentlemen out there listening to the Sisterhood Radio. Remember, it is March, which is the Women's History Month. And it was just Women's Day just yesterday, and we celebrate women every single day. I saw a wonderful post about women all across all social media, and even some gentlemen out there who say, well, when is Men's Day? I'm like, Men's Day is every day, okay? You guys have holidays, you got presidents, all that, okay? Just how white folks always talk about, oh, how come we don't have a White History Month? Because every day you're celebrating, okay? That's why we have one set aside for February, but we 365 on that one.
Make sure you guys tag our Facebook page, our Sisterhood Facebook page, so we upload a lot of posts about the Sisterhood, so make sure you check us out there.
Exactly. Always follow us on the Sisterhood with LaRock and Lady Bex on Facebook, and also on the Sisterhood Radio.
And Twitter too. We on Twitter too. We out there.
Right, on Twitter. So follow us, make comments. I always try to post positive things about black women all the time. I show wonderful pictures and images from different artists from around the world. So make sure that you do that. Okay. Hey everybody, what's up? It says Men's Day is what's up to my little Soror right there? She said Men's Day is November 19th. Please. Okay. There's a
Keep going.
Okay. There is a Men's Day, but come on.
Father's Day.
Do you guys really need a Men's Day? Okay, y'all good. Okay.
They need Father's Day. It's Men's Day.
Well, no, Father's Day I understand.
Men's Day is cool too. You know. Remember, LaRock, we got young boys out there.
I just rolled my eyes.
We have young boys out there.
We do have
we're
young
raising
men.
young, beautiful boys who are going to grow up into handsome men.
I understand that.
Where they don't want to hear their mommies on the radio saying, no, there should not be a men day. You agree, man?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
You know what? Hold up. Don't use that drop. I don't use that drop.
So,
well, you know, I love my sons. I love my daughter too. I understand. I'm just saying, okay? But we're talking about today insecurities right now. We want you guys to chime in. So please, hello everybody on my Facebook Live right now. I see you checking us out. If you like to chime in, we're talking about black women insecurities, about to give a good definition. Lady Bex over here is about to anyway. 347-708-0216. We are on iaccessradio.com. Please, we are streaming live right now. Check us out live right now.
we over here looking cute, so come check us out.
Exactly. Man. Got lip gloss popping and everything. You don't have to watch me always on Facebook Live. You can always, if you like, go into iAccess Radio. Watch us on Ustream.tv and go to the search engine, and I want you to type in iAccess Radio Live. And we're right there live for you to watch us. Right here, the DJ too.
Watch us. So we want you to go. You can do this from your cell phone. So don't think that you have to be in front of a computer. Just do it from your cell phones and watch us, because we got to log off on our Facebooks. And I know you want to see our cute faces.
I know. I put
log in,
eyeliner, and everything on. If you're just new to our show right now, Lady Bex and I are first cousins. We're blood. We talk on the phone every single day, every morning. If I don't talk to her, I'm like, what happened?
She calls me 1,500 times. Like,
I do. I call her like at least 12 times just to be like, what's up? Once I get a boo, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't have a boo.
I'm stalking her. Like, what's going on? My phone is, I'm blowing it like she blows hers.
My phone is dry. I'm just saying, I call her 1,000 times, but I swear, after I call her, after I get a boo, I won't be calling you as much. I'll tell you that right now.
That's fine. Then I'm pop up on you.
Good. I need that too.
We'll do Papa Rose. So we're going to give a little definition of what insecurities are. So insecurities. I feel like Charlemagne on
let me tell you, shout out to Charlemagne the God, yo.
How do you pronounce that in a sentence?
I love him. As a, not love him, but I love his commentary. Go ahead.
And the funny thing about, we talked about insecurities. That's what we're talking about tonight on the radio this morning. Mm-hmm. That's what they talked about this morning, insecurities. So let me give you a little definition. LaRock, can you use that in a sentence? When you feel like, so insecurities, when you feel like you're not good enough, you spend hours trying to look your best. Okay. You push people away because you're used to being used and people turning their backs. You lie, not about things to seem cold, but you lie about. What happened? But you lie about being. Let me lose my space.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, scratch that and start over. When you feel like you're not good enough, you spend hours trying to look your best. You push people away because you're used to being used and people turning their backs. You lie, not about being things to seem cool, but you lie about being okay. Even if asked repeatedly, you still say you're fine. People of all ages can suffer with it, and then tend to be the people who are the most caring. So they also tend to be the people who are most caring. So people who are caring sometimes have a little bit of insecurities, and I'm sitting here scratching like, what? Sound like me right here.
I mean, everyone
has insecurities.
Right, everyone has insecurities. Some are more revealing than others. And I know when we were talking about this morning, you said something that was like really like relevant. Do you remember?
I sure did.
You know what? We need to write things down. But what Lady Beck says.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do remember.
Go
Yeah.
Ahead. Go.
So what I said is sometimes we are insecure because I'm probably saying it differently now, but sometimes what people say to us make us feel insecure. For example, like if you tell someone your deepest insecurities, so a lot of times we know what our insecurities are, and we tend to have conversations with people. Like you may have a conversation with your mate, or you may have a conversation with your bestie or your family, and that person usually, if they're upset with you, they take your insecurities and throw it in your face, which makes you, even though you know what your insecurities are, it makes you more insecure. For example, if someone say, "Oh, you know what? You look like you want to have." Someone told me once, "Oh, you know, all you're gonna have is your 3 kids in a spare tire." You know what I mean? So pretty much saying that my belly is gonna be my spare tire. So although I don't have a belly, let me stand up, guys. No spare tire, but because that was instilled in you, you still feel a little bit of insecure. So we all have our insecurities.
So basically, you know, these things can start when we're young. You know what I'm saying? These things grow on us too. Something that bothers us as children because someone has instilled in our mind and brainwashed part of it. We grow up with these things and we become insecure about them, right? So one thing, when I was reading this article, 15 most common insecurities in women, I'm going to go ahead and put black women in front of that and add a couple of things when we read them out to you guys. Because one thing that I feel that some black women were insecure were about their complexion, their color, their hair, their texture. And still today, some black women have these issues. You feel me? And so we have some more things to be insecure about, but we're trying to get past those. Now, one thing was good, Lily Bex was saying that someone told her about having a spare tire and whatever, and basically degrading her. What we learn now is that person was insecure. You feel me?
Really.
And so, exactly. And
Really
people who had tried to hurt us were the people who were the most insecure about their life. You feel? So it's like we have to somehow overcome that and understand that. But I think now, at a woman at a certain age, we understand that when people put us down, we don't take that mess anymore because we realize that that's their insecurity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also, you want to play some music? Oh, okay. All right. Because, we just talk.
Yeah, we would assume. But
Yeah.
also, based on, so I read another article, in regards to why a woman's so insecure. And
Right.
sometimes, like you said, it stems from when we're young.
Yeah.
So also, sometimes we're so insecure in relationships because that stems from our relationships with our fathers, right? So you can go back to
Always
psychology.
goes down to that.
You can go back to Psychology 101.
Oh, my
You know
goodness.
what I mean? Where they talk about, like, females grow up and they like to marry men who are like their fathers, and males tend to grow up and marry women that are like their mothers.
Okay.
So, like, based on this article, it says, for starters, a woman's first relationship is with her father. If he treats her well, shows her how to be treated, advises her on the games men play, instills confidence and loves her, he is teaching her how to be treated by a man, right? On the other side, if he neglects to do that or he walks away from her, females tend to get into relationships like that,
Right.
thinking that, if I'm with this person and he cheats or he does this, it's okay because that's what my dad did. So a lot of our insecurities stem from young. Or if you have a
Most
mother
definitely.
who's
Yeah.
yelling and screaming at you, calling you ugly all day long, you're gonna grow up to think that you're ugly. Because the people who most love you, you take that as they love me. They're telling me things to uplift me.
Right.
You think that because that person loves you. And reality is it gives you all of those insecurities.
I really, when I'm thinking back right now, and I'm like, wow, it really does stem from when you're a child. And if you were a child that was teased a lot about something, it still definitely affects you. I was actually on the phone with a friend of mine. What's up? Shout out to Jersey. I didn't even say that today. Mercy. But shout out to one of my friends, and she was asking me, well, did you ever get teased by something? Someone or whatever, or bullied? But I was bullied terribly. Some of you guys are on my Facebook feed, but you feel me now, don't you? But but I used to get teased so much.
So did I.
I used to get teased so much about my complexion because I was dark skinned. And
I just got teased about a big head. It was cute. I'm just saying.
But I got teased so much as a child for being dark skinned. And I don't know why I got teased by people who were dark skinned. So I don't really understand it. But I know that they were insecure because they didn't like how they looked. So they made me not like how I looked. It's always had an issue. That issue stopped a long time ago, though, because I learned to love the skin I'm in, and, everybody try to be dark skin anyway, because it's cute. But anyway, but that's one thing that as a teenager and maybe as a teenager in high school, that was an insecurity of mine, you know. Then like I saw women like Nina Simone, and I saw women this might be funny, but Aunt Viv.
Oh yeah.
I saw Aunt Viv on TV, and I think, oh my gosh! And then when I saw Spike Lee's movie, oh my gosh, the movie in college. What movie is that?
School Days.
Oh my God! When I saw School Days, this was when I was in 6th grade. Hey everybody! When I saw School Days, and the black girl who was like, pro-black girl, and she's the main character, and I saw her and her skin, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I thought she was just so beautiful. And I was like, I started to gain some beauty for myself at that time. And so that's why representation is very important, by the way. But I was insecure about that. I was, but now that's an insecurity that I definitely don't have anymore. Thank God for that. But black women do have that type of insecurity. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about it amongst Facebook feeds and everything like that, and talk about colorism all the time. So that's one thing. But there's more. There is more. So if you go into this Google search on insecurity, right? And there's some disturbing things that's on here, because wow, women are really insecure about this stuff. Yeah, we kind of are. One thing, the number one that's on this article I have here that Lady Beck nicely printed out, thank you, was sexuality. Okay, it says by far the most commonly listed insecurity women apparently want most of all is to be sexually desirable, and are constantly measuring their own sexual desirability against that of other women. I agree with this one. For some of us, we look at those Instagram pictures and those chicks who have the snapback stomachs, and they up there talking about, all I got was this flat tummy tea. Girl, bye. Okay? As we get older, we realize that we cannot, there's no comparison. You know what I'm saying? That's when we have to look into ourselves and say, I am beautiful with this belly and these stretch marks. And if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I put it all out there. Well, not really all out there, but, you can't be in competition with those women, but we do desire to be sexually attracted by men. And that's listed here as number one insecurity. We want to go out, we want to look sexy, we want to look attractive, but we got to keep in mind we want to do it for ourselves, and that just makes it attractive all over. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to go out there and say, oh, be sexy for this man. Go out there and be sexy for yourself.
Yeah, be sexy for yourself.
And all of a sudden,
I'm too sexy for myself.
I'm sexy for this shirt.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? I always make up words, but it should be. It's fine.
But, that's actually number one. I need a water break.
Music break.
We do need a music break. So, DJ All-Star, play it up for us. This is a Sisterhood Radio. We're on iAccessRadio.com. Follow us on Instagram. Call us at 347-708-0216. You guys are watching me on Facebook Live. I'm about to cut it off. Join the discussion, ladies and gentlemen. That's on my feed right now. 347-708-0216. It's a Sisterhood Radio. That's right. Hey, everybody.
Thought you were just another Romeo, the shoe you passed by in the store window. But soon as I got home, I wish I bought you instead. I got it bad. I take the black, take the navy and red. No other man has ever had quite this effect. I sleep alone 'cause there's no room in my bed for any other lover. When no good to my head, your kisses hold me hostage, and I don't wanna stop it. 'Cause I only wanna give it to you, and I want you more than a new pair of shoes. I only wanna give it to you, and I sure do hope that you feel like I do.
But down to come down over to the crib, little place I got over there in the hills, fat jacuzzi.
I love Sisterhood Radio. Homegirls, attention you must pay, so listen close to what I say. Don't take this people rhyme, cause this type of thing happens all the time. Now, what would you do if a stranger said, would you diss them or would you reply? If you answer, there is a chance that you become a victim of circumstance. Am I right, fellas? Tell the truth. Or else I'ma have to show and prove you are what you are. I am what I am. It just so happens that most men are. What you call me?
Babe, I ain't gonna lie. You look good. I know I look good too. Why don't you go do the do?
Have you ever seen a dude who's stupid and rude? Whenever he's around, he dogs your mood. I know a guy like that, girl. He thinks he's God's gift to the world. You know that kind, excited all the time, with nothing but sex on the mind. I'm no stunt, on me he can't front. I know the real deal, I know what they want. It's me. Why? Because I'm so sexy. It's me. What? Don't touch my body. Cause you see, I ain't no skeezer. But on a real tip, I think he's a. What you call me? What you call me?
Huh? What? Hey, whoa, wait a minute. That's not what it is.
Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with Laura and Lady Beth.
Been in 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was about to Benjamins? You act like you and him, they give him a little trim to begin. Now you think you really gon' pretend like you wasn't down and you called him again. Plus when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. If you did it then you probably talking out your neck saying you're a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the gin. Now that was the sin that did Jezebel in. Who you gonna tell when the repercussions spin? Showing off your ass cause you thinking it's a trend, girlfriend. Let me break it down for you again. You know I only said cause I'm truly genuine. Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem, baby girl. Respect is just the minimum. You still defending them now. Lauren is only human. Don't think I haven't been through the same predicament. Let it sit inside your head like a million women in Philly pen. It's silly when girls sell their souls because it's sin. Look at where you be in. Hair weaves like Europeans. Fake nails done by Koreans. Come again. A win-win. Come again. A win-win. Come again. My friend, come again. Yeah. Guys, you know you better watch out. Some girls are only about that thing.
First things first, I pop up, freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like cause they don't get Nathan but penetration. Unless it smells like sanitation. Garbage, I turn like doorknobs. Heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking the Mitsubishi. Girls teepee when they see me. Never will creep me in they teepee. As I lay down low like Alan Coppin. Stop it. If you think they're gonna make a profit, don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it? Now tell your friends Papa hit it, then split it in two. As I flow with the junior mafia. I don't know what the hell's stopping ya. I'm clocking ya. Versace shade watching ya. Once you grin, I'm in game again. First I talk about how I dress is this and diamond necklaces, stretch Lexuses. The sex is just immaculate. From the back I get deeper and deeper. Help you reach the climax that your man can't make. Call him, tell him you be home real late and sing the break.
Once again, it's the Sisterhood Radio Show.
You didn't know?
Every other Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. iAccessRadio.com with your hosts, LaRock and Lady Beck.
Think of that song on how it's so long. long. Thought he worked his until I handled my biz. There I is, major pain like Damon Wayans. Low down, dirty even like his brother Keenan scheming. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. Act Puff Daddy. Ringing bells with bags from Chanel. Baby Benz traded in your Hyundai XL. Fully equipped CD changer with the cell.
I mean, you know, today's March 9th, so we gotta say R.I.P. to Biggie Smalls.
Flipping job, playing car notes. While I'm swimming in your women like the breaststroke. Right stroke, left stroke was the best stroke. Death stroke, tongue all down the throat. Nothing left to do but send her home to you. I'm through. Can you sing the song for me, boo? I got that good love, girl, you didn't know.
Shout out to everybody on my eyes Instagram right now watching it.
Broke is me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. Watch flirt. I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? Huh, I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's the with the fake. Wow. Why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place. Play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this pocket. Rob him while his friends watching. And clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them, stole with them. I mean loyalty. Put me milks at lunch, the milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 88, ice cosh, and blue and white duck, ask the slut.
Sky is the limit, and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, you can have what you want. Sky is the limit, and you know that you keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky is the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, be what you want, have what you want.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping the hard, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the LA. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga. I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me, now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. Condos in Queens, indo for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak. Living life without fear. Putting 5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good, And if you don't know, now you know, nigga. The fake one, you need a minute to think. For home, you better take one. My time is up. Peace out to Brooklyn. Daddy, yo, hey, yo,
our shoulders all the time. So we kind of want to get rid of all that, right? So we're talking about Black women insecurities. If you're just tuning in right now, this is the Sisterhood Radio with the Rock and Lady Bex and DJ All Star. We're here to empower, inspire, and support Black women around the world. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever, right? You feel me? What's up to everybody right now on my Instagram? This is The Rock on the radio again. So, Lady Bex.
What up?
We talked about, before we went on a little break, bringing tribute to Biggie. And also we had a little salt and pepper in there too, and some Lauryn Hill, which is like my fave.
My fave too.
We'll hear some Mary J though too. I like that too. I love it. But we're talking about Black women and insecurities, and the first one we listed was sexuality and our, desired, our want to be desired sexually, right? And we talked about that. And the next one we had was actually age. Actually, it was age, and it says women who are insecure about their age, they want to look young and are jealous of other women, and are constantly trying to find the right foods and products that will fight the aging process. Listen, honey, there is nothing to fight the aging process. Okay?
I don't know, but I'm gonna die with my hair.
Those grays will go away if they're extra
Sure.
dye. Okay? Let me tell you something. I roll this stuff on my eyes every day.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
But not to keep up with other women. I don't know who wrote this article.
Oh no, yeah.
But I just do that just for myself. Like I don't think I'm I don't compare myself to other women as much as I used to. We all do it. We all do it. I think it comes to a certain age that we're like, you know what? We're never gonna be like that. So we gotta start, really appreciating our bellies and our stretch marks. You feel me? Okay,
Yeah.
and men appreciate that too. To be honest with you. But anyway,
just put it, make it tight,
right?
Go to the gym,
Exercise.
work it out, man.
Become a vegan.
The problem is that sometimes we become so caught up in the way other people look,
right?
That if we would stay more consistent in focusing on us and exercising to get those tight buns or that tight stomach, it's consistency is the key.
Right.
We're not consistent. It's like, oh, you give up. Like, I know I do. I lose a little weight. Like, okay, I look good now. I'm good.
Right.
But like, if I was to stay consistent, I'd be hot.
And you know what? This crazy thing is, I smell food. When
that's right.
The crazy thing is, okay, we cannot compare ourselves to someone who was much younger than us.
Younger?
Yes, we cannot do that. Like, your 25-year-old self is not. We can't say, oh, I can't. I want to compete with that 25-year-old body who had no children. That's just nonsense. We have to stop doing that.
Well, I got a 25-year-old body to rock.
Wow.
Listen, you think it, you can achieve it. So if you think you got a 25-year-old body, get to that gym and you can get that 25-year-old body.
That's true. But don't you know that when we were younger, right? Like, we were very skinny.
I had nothing at 25.
I was like, back then I didn't think I was skinny, right?
Like 100 pounds.
But, well, a little more than 100 pounds.
I was 100.
Oh, 100 pounds and not me.
Wet.
Oh, no. LaRock was always had some thickety to her, okay? And so I feel like I don't want to be that 25-year-old body. Like, I appreciate my something-year-old body now. It goes at age.
She's avoiding the age.
But I do appreciate
Don't
now
put your
because,
age back.
because
Some people do
you
that.
know what? Because we have a grown woman body now. This is a grown woman body. A woman that gave birth to 3 children. Body. Gotta be proud of that.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So we can't be in
that's
comparison to women who did not have children. First, I look at these Instagram pages. I follow a lot of people on Instagram that exercise and, I'm doing this vegan thing and everything. And I always say,
How's that doing?
it's great. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But I always look, it's excellent though. 1 month being a vegan. That's right. Where's that? You know how that is?
That's right.
I don't get an applause or anything like that. But one thing I did. Well, one thing I noticed that I always go and I ask, it's a long applause. Let me just fix my hair. I always say, does that lady have children? I always say that.
Sometimes they do, because you can't even
They
go by
do?
that. Because my mother has 7 kids, and she doesn't look like she has 7 kids.
Right. But I guess it's me being greedy and hungry and stuff.
Not even. Everybody's body is differently. Because people pop babies out, and they still look like
And look
they're,
like
you
they
know,
did not pop nothing
nothing.
out.
I popped 2 out, and I look like I did nothing. Did I have my daughter? I don't know what happened, but
You know what? I look like I had kids.
but people say to me all the time they don't even know I have children, and yet alone let me say how old my children are. They be like, "What?"
Right, because you have a youthful look.
You know what I mean?
You do.
But I don't look 25, but
But who wants to be 25?
I don't. I wouldn't take back 25 again.
Big Al, you want to be 25?
That's right.
I would want to be 20. No,
You want to feel 25. That's what it is. You want to feel.
I wouldn't want to be 25. I'm like thinking about like when I was 25.
When I met the devil at 25, so I don't want to go back.
Take that out of me.
I don't want to go back, but shout out to everybody who's on Instagram Live right now on Sisterhood Radio. But Lady Bex, you have some things about road mapping, right?
Road mapping to overcoming. So you got the article about 15. What is it? What do you have?
15 common insecurities. Yeah,
and I have the one a road map to overcoming those insecurities.
Right.
So we know there isn't a person in the universe that is not insecure. If they say that they are not insecure, they are lying to you.
Nobody's perfect. No one is
perfect.
God.
They have a little insipid insecurity. You have any insecurities, Mr. Man over there? All Star? We don't need to know them, but yes or no?
Yeah, I got a couple.
All right, what about you?
I'll be
Mr.
honest. I got a lot.
You got that what's that voice?
The Barry White.
Got that Barry White voice
Right.
going over there.
But what insecurities that we know that women have, or that overcoming them?
So let's see. Let's go down the list. Let's see. So what it is that some of them are better dealing with them. So we all have insecurities, but some people know how to deal with your insecurities. Because if you know that you have an insecurity, that's half the battle.
Okay.
We worry about what other people think. It's some of those securities, like, I know I was just talking about this today, where when I was younger, now too, I talk really fast sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. So we talk on the phone all the time.
Right.
There's sometimes, I don't know if you be like, what? I don't know if I talk extremely fast. So
as a family, we talk fast.
As a family, so I try to slow myself down when I'm like doing presentations and stuff.
Right.
I've learned how to slow myself down because that was my insecurity. Where my old supervisor once told me, "Did you take speech? Because I speak so fast." But it's like you said, as a family, that's how we talk. Everyone talks fast.
We're just fast talking folk.
I remember my dad always used to say to me when I was younger, Lady Bex, you have to talk clearly and distinctly. Saying that too. So that must have been something that was instilled in them.
It must have been because, like everyone who's right now, you guys should know by now, Lady Bex and I are first cousins. Not play cousins, we're real cousins, we're real family.
We are cousins.
We got the same grandmama and granddaddy. Both of them are passed on now, but still. We, a lot of the things that we were taught and the values that we were brought up on are similar. And speaking clearly is one of them.
Yes.
We are a fast speaking type of family, especially when we get angry.
Sometimes I'm thinking like that.
We just go on and on. Right. Can't shut us up in an argument. I tell you that for me, you definitely can't do that. You can try, but no. But yeah. Go ahead.
So this just talks about things that we worry about. We worry about what people think about us. We worry about if we're good enough. We worry about if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We worry about if we are going to fail something. We worry about if people will find out we're afraid or we're fraud. We worry about if we're too fat. I know I asked my husband every day, do you think I look fat in these jeans? He's like, you know what? I'm not even going to answer you.
Do we say that a lot, guys?
I say that a lot.
Do we ask men a lot if do we look fat? I don't know. I don't got a booth, so I don't ask anybody. I just put on clothes.
That's right.
We do. But you know what? Why do we feel that way? That's one of the, that's actually number 3. And most of the 15 common insecurities women have is our weight.
It's our weight. I don't know. It's like you. I think that it's all of the social media. I think that's in here. Social media, the culture. We want to prove, like, if I look a certain way, I'm going to be approved. Or we have to look a certain way in our clothes or certain way in our heels. So whatever it is, I think a lot of it comes from social media. But if you didn't take away social media, because back in the days when we were growing up, we didn't have social media.
Not even that, but I think.
But it's just the commercials, the music videos,
public opinion. Yes. Also, what we see in media has a definite influence. right now we have our Facebook, Instagram friend, Yaz Fire. What's up? Big up to you. She says, mine as well. Fast talker. I also battle with loving my deep voice. You know what? Me too. I was told that I sounded like a man as a teenager, and that always hindered me from speaking publicly. Wow. But I'm a natural born speaker and writer. Oh, well, big up to you, Yas Fire. They always said I had a deep voice, but look at me now.
I have a deep voice too. I try to make it a little sexier.
Voice is not deep.
When I answer the phone, someone thought I was a man.
When I was at Burger King about 2 years ago, it was like, sir. I was like, I am not a sir. I don't know. Catch me in the morning, though. I have to clear my throat. Don't call me first thing in the morning and expect me to speak like this. Something happens to my octaves. My octaves are a little deeper. And at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I got to let me clear my throat in the morning. What's up, ladies? What's up, Cool 9716? I'm probably messing that all up. But what's up to everybody right now on our Instagram page? We're talking about insecurities.
Like I said, a majority of it is because of what we see. Like, you know, the children. If you Google, like even if you go on Google, I did this with the kids in the school, like the middle school kids. Like if you Google beautiful and you see what comes up as beautiful. Like, you know, it's mostly you don't see, there's no black females. Only black female when you Google that is
That's
Beyonce.
Why representation is important.
It's Beyonce. Or, you know, that's the only black female they see. So if you, as a young girl, and you're looking at the videos, you're looking at the commercials, and all you see is like CoverGirl and all of these other things, you think that your natural beauty is not beauty. Right. So you become insecure when you walk out in the street. Like, look at us. I'm like, just today on the phone. Yeah. You're like, oh, just go straight. Oh, no, girl, I need to go home and check my hair.
That's just a natural thing, though, right? But it's not natural. You want to look presentable. You know what I'm saying?
I want to be on the air.
You can't look on the air looking a hot mess. But that's something that's natural, right?
It's natural, but if you look, once you start reading through some of those things, I was like, wow, I do that a lot. Like, you take a picture. I tell you, don't post my pictures.
You always tell me that.
I need to see how I look. You know what I mean? And is it because, like you said, is it because I have insecurities, or is it because I really want to see how I look?
I think you go ahead and want to see how you look.
Yeah, right.
Like I think so. Something like, all right, so let's bring up something that, you know, like I said before, when I was younger, it was my complexion, right? Because I was dark skinned, I always was insecure about that. I didn't think I was beautiful and all that kind of foolishness, whatever. But that was one thing I was like for a very long time. I did not like. I used to like say crazy things to myself, like, "Oh, I was a little bit lighter." Ridiculous. That's a new phone. Oh, yeah, you have a caller.
Calling you live.
What's up? You're live. It's Sisterhood Radio. Oh, did we lose him? Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up? This is Sisterhood Radio with Rock and Lady
What are they talking about when you Google beautiful, only white people come up? You never taught your kids black is beautiful?
No, we do teach our kids that black is beautiful.
Oh, no.
If you are, that's not what we said. If you, all of our youth, they're going on, if they go on Google, and it's a little thing we did in the school, we told them to put in the word beautiful. So if you put in the word beautiful on Google, you go to images, all you see is images of white people. So I want you to do that. Like, go on your Google, and then you see Beyonce. You don't see a lot. There's not a lot of
multicultural women up there. That's what she's saying, and that's why representation is important. That's why movies like Black Panther was made, and that's why when we have women like us on this platform, we say black women are beautiful. We're putting that on our Instagram pages and social media because right now that's the trend between people of the younger generation.
Yeah, I just peeked it on your live comment, and that's what made me call, because it is not what the dictionary says. It's just what we teach our children.
Oh yeah.
If you can't, but see, you're gonna give me the ramp and go on, because you're the one who's telling them, oh, you don't supposed to have nappy hair. You have to have long, straight hair. Or you don't supposed to have your natural black eyes. You have to have blue eyes and gray eyes. You don't want to have this. You have to have a big butt. That's what the women are teaching the young kids.
Well,
so don't go on this thing, because when you Google black beautiful, it don't show no blackness. Look at the image you painting for them. Look at the image.
Right. So let me just go back and take it back.
Every picture that a woman take on the book is they got to show their butt. I say to myself, well, their brains must be in their butt.
Well, thank you, caller. But I just want to know where you're calling from, and if you can have your name.
What? What you saying?
Where are you calling,
Where are you calling from?
And what is your name?
And we lost you. Well, let me go back to that caller. When you were saying that you teach everyone, and what we're saying, we're not saying that we teach. I know he's not saying that, because that's definitely not what we're here. I mean, we're the Sisterhood Radio promoting Black women and culture, number one. And number two, if you go and you Google, which Black children and other children do, you Google it and you'll see what images pop up. Are we part of that? Which would give children and people who are younger than us in generation, they will start putting images in their head. This is something that is generational as well, that's been in this country. We are the historically disenfranchised people, and what they did to us back in the day, they said that we were not beautiful. Our big noses and our thick lips and our high cheekbones and our black skin was not considered beautiful by American standards, and that's what everyone thought at that time. Everyone thought that. Even black people began to think that because we have been brainwashed since we stepped foot in this country. And that's just it, right?
Yeah.
So,
and also, what I said, just for clarity, I said that if you go on Google and you put in Google in the search box, beautiful woman images, and if you click on that, you will see how many females that come up that are of the Caucasian descent. So our youth are Googling things, and this is what they see. So if this is what they see, this is what they're going to think is beautiful. As a black mom, as a black educator, I teach my black children that they are beautiful. So, caller, you might interpret what we said incorrectly, because that's not what we did. We are sisters. You did. We are sisters, and we are here to uplift our black community, our black sisters.
right.
So you might want to.
Now, if you roll around a bunch of women that are doing that, then who are you rolling around with? What are you saying to them? Are they raising your daughter wrong? Perhaps you need to step in that, brother, and be like, you know what? You are beautiful. See, one thing is so funny, and when people say things and say you, what are you doing? Okay, because I know what
we
I'm
got
doing.
48 shades of blackness, more than any other race. 48 different shades. So why can't they understand that's beautiful?
Excuse me?
Okay, that's the first thing.
Caller, before you
All right,
even continue
I'm watching. Y'all went from red to Valentine's Day with all this fake phony love
Caller, what are you
for one
talking
day,
about? I'm a little confused. Are we on the
to
same page here?
green, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. But in between that, there's nobody acknowledge anything about black history.
You must have not been listening to the show, because all of February we talked about Black History Month, so I'm a bit confused as well. So I don't know what show you've been listening to, but you need to go back to all of our shows and listen to what we are representing.
Yeah, so,
I need you to
can
Google.
Can I chime in real quick? So what I did while I was sitting there, I went to Google, I put in beautiful women, and the first, I would say, 30 pictures that came up were of white women.
Right, that's what we were saying.
Scroll down a little bit, you see one black sister. You scroll down some more, you see one. Scroll down a little more, I'm looking at it now.
I see a Beyonce in there.
No, I didn't even get to a Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, I see what Lady
now I
Beth
see
is doing.
Beyonce and Rihanna on the same line. Scroll down some more.
But what
one black sister in the corner. Okay, so again, like what you're saying is that social media doesn't give you what young ladies and young men should be receiving as black people. You know what I mean? We don't see us.
Right.
We don't see us.
That's nothing new. That's why since we are like since we've been known that for as long as we've been in this country. Go ahead, answer the phone.
Caller, you live. Talk to us. Sisterhood Radio.
Why you hung up on me?
No, we didn't.
No one. We hung up on you. I need you to start making a little more sense. That's why I want to understand. No, please. So tell me, what were you talking about, red and all that stuff? Do you understand the point we were trying to make?
February 14th, on this red, love. Now everybody just jumped from red to green. You know what I'm saying, for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
But
So
all in between that, I didn't hear no one, even on the TV commercials, didn't even say anything about our Black History Month. They gave bits and pieces about it.
So what are you watching exactly?
So So when you say that they Google and see beautiful, don't blame that on that. That's just a definition of the word. It's up to us as a community of black entrepreneurs and black business people and educators to teach our children that black is beautiful.
And that's
not the Beyoncés, not the ones sitting there shaking their behinds, not the ones on Facebook showing their behind instead of their brains.
And if
that's
you listen to our show, that's what we're saying.
So all that what you talking and Googling and saying, that's just a definition of a word. What is beautiful?
All right, so the reason why we brought up Google and saying that, because what the generation is doing now, whether it is taught at home or whatever, they're Googling everything. And so when they go in and Google the images and they say beautiful women, it comes up as a bunch of white women. It's not multicultural, multi-ethnic at all. It's just one standard woman, okay? One standard type of woman. Now, like you said, it has to be taught from home. Of course it has to be taught from home. That's why we have so many different platforms right here for black women, for black children. So we have to get it out to the masses. Guess what? It is still not the majority, son. It is still not the majority. We have to make it a majority. We've been doing this for the past 400 years, trying to make it a majority. And now we have voices. There are things that are in place now that we're able to put these things out here, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay? So right now, right here on the radio right now, we are promoting and supporting black women in culture. We are saying to our daughters and our men, our young boys, that we are beautiful, our skin is beautiful, our noses are fine, our butts are fine, our lips are fine. Okay? For so many years that we were told that we were ugly. What did Malcolm X say? Who told you that you were ugly? Who told you that? Okay? So now we're trying to reverse all those things, trying to eradicate all that craziness, that colorism and that hatred for ourselves, but it does not take a minute to do.
But caller, so we, just so you know, we are agreeing with you that it does stem from the home. It does stem for us as educators to teach our youth, our black youth, that they are beautiful. We're not negating what you're saying, but we just want to make sure that it's clear that we're not saying that that's okay.
I think the majority of our listeners know that. We're clear about that. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know. He's talking about the red into the green. I don't know. He's talking about the Valentine's Day. I don't know what you were trying to make sense of that. That didn't make sense at all to me. However, someone from Instagram is trying to call. So, sir, thank you for calling. You never gave us your name. You also never said where you're calling from. But thank you for calling. Keep listening. Maybe you'll learn something. Go ahead. So another caller wants to call in.
That's right.
This is the Sisterhood Radio. Let me tell you something, y'all. I'm very strong and very secure. Okay, take the I-N out and put secure in about my blackness, and I know a lot of stuff. Okay, so please don't come at me with some foolishness. Okay, I'm all ready. I will always sit here and I always support black women and culture. That's why it's called that way. And I always support things that we have done. Okay, please know that the struggle is not just started just now. We have always been in this struggle for many, many years, hundreds of years. Okay, we had no rights. Like I said in the beginning, there was no rights. We were still birthing children. We were still working for people, feeding other people, and still in the front lines of the struggle. We've been done that. You ever heard of Fannie Lou Hamer? Google her. Okay, Google her. Heard of Barbara Jordan? Google her. Okay, ever heard of Nina Simone? Google her. Okay. All right, always been in the struggle. I know you know who Harriet Tubman is. Maybe you should read over her life a little bit and see what she did. Freed all them slaves, okay, with a gun and a Bible in her hand. All right, she was gangster and about it. All right, black women has always been there for us, and always, you know, even when they were told they were ugly and a piece of garbage by everybody. Okay, we still continued our life and grew old and died and passed on different things, and they became ancestors. And right now we come from those women, and we're able to deliver their stories. Okay,
that's right.
Don't get me started. Come for me.
Mm-hmm,
okay?
That's right.
That's right. So one of our callers just said, just tell a caller, thank you. We agree with you. We agree to disagree. And you say, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. So thank you for calling in. But
I think it's you on my Instagram page.
All of our watchers have been watching for the longest and listening.
He did say he was calling to comment on something that one of y'all put on your live. The last caller.
So I didn't put anything on my live. So
he said I'm probably black. You gotta relax. This is me relaxed. Trust, okay? But we're gonna talk about.
Oh, he's on your
That's
page?
right. Yeah. So this is me relaxed. So maybe sometimes when you point the finger and say you, beware who you are pointing to and who you're saying is you. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. This is The Rock on the radio. Okay. I'm reading other things. You can talk. I'm reading other things that's on here.
Okay. So yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're right. So y'all's fire.
Everyone take a breather. We are going to breathe, deeply breathe. Usa. You know, sometimes people call stations and they misinterpret what people say.
No, it's this guy right here. He said he's pro-black. I'm pro-black too, but I'm also pro-woman. Okay? And so one thing we say you, talk about a birth of the people who birthed you. Okay?
Go ahead.
Caller, you live, Sisterhood Radio.
Sisterhood Radio.
Yeah, what's up? All right, I'm gonna comment again. I'm pinging back and forth into your talk show.
Where you from?
Let me ask you.
Where you from?
You believe everything someone tell you? Someone tell you ugly. You believe that?
Where you from?
You believe that someone told you was ugly, so you believe that.
Wait. It's not about.
When you looked in the mirror, did you see any ugliness in you?
Are you asking that to us, or are you saying that as a general question to all black women listening?
No, I'm asking a question. I'm just asking a question. Do you believe what everybody say about you?
No. What kind of question is that? No.
All right then.
So what do you mean?
All right then.
I don't see your point.
So if someone tell you ugly, is one or two reasons why they say that. They jealous of you and your appearance, or they wish they was in your shoes.
No, and you're 100% correct, right? But listen, as far as that's what people we talked about that in the beginning of the show, where sometimes people who are insecure or they say things. I didn't hang up this phone.
Metro PCS.
Hello?
Caller, you live.
You live.
All right, you're gonna have to turn down your monitor.
Keep on calling this show.
Excuse me?
Caller, you live. Talk to us.
Hello.
Hello.
You know what? The thing is,
you know what? So obviously the caller may be a little bit upset because sometimes when you have certain topics, sometimes when people are traumatized by certain things and you talk about different things, sometimes it triggers people, right? So it sounds like, and I'm just talking based on the counselor, my counselor head on. Sometimes we talk about different topics and sometimes it might trigger people. So we are here to pretty much uplift you. And if that is happening and you believe that we said one thing, that was not our intention. Our intention is to, again, uplift black women because this is called the Sisterhood. And our goal is because based on all of our experiences, I know my experiences as a young person, when you're young, you're very impressionable. Young girls, young boys are like sponges. So whatever you say to them, they're going to take it as is. If you're a father, if you're a mother, if you are their friends, their families, whatever it is. Why do we think so many kids out here, so many young people are committing suicide? Because they believe what their friends say and they believe what whoever says something to them. This is what they do. My daughter's friend.
Caller, you live. Sisterhood Radio.
Hey, I'm glad to be, talking to the Sisterhood Radio. I want to just, say the gentleman that keeps on calling the show, he's really putting out a terrible, terrible, terrible image of the black male. I feel like one of the big problems men have is you think you can just talk over women. And the thing is, what happens is when you speak too much, you ain't listening. And, I learned that the hard way growing up. I've always been the type to want to speak over people, too, and I miss out on a lot of pivotal points. So that brother that just keeps calling and talking, he's really missing the point, I think, of what Sisterhood Radio stands for, what Sisterhood Radio means.
Exactly.
And I think if he's still listening, he needs to understand that any great person has to first listen, because listening is the key to knowledge.
Right.
They say that you speak what you already know. And if you are anyone who is wise, you know that you know nothing. So listening is key. I just wanted to give a shout out to the two strong ladies on Sisterhood Radios, Lady Bex, Lady Wax. Keep on doing your thing.
Thank you. Right now, thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
What is your name and where you calling from, if you don't mind?
Hey man, this is Lamar. I'm calling from the Bronx, baby.
What's up?
What's up?
Welcome. Thank you. What you guys say about tonight's topic on the Sisterhood Radio?
I'm sorry.
What you got? What you want to tell us? What's
It's
up?
the same dude. It's the same guy. Yeah.
So can you tell us your name, please?
Hello.
All right. So not to waste any time.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, ladies.
We wanted to just know what's your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, this is Lamont, and I'm calling from the Boogie Bronx.
Ah, the Bronx in the house. Woo, woo.
Yes. Keep on grinding, ladies. You guys are doing phenomenal things.
Oh, thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Appreciate it. Please share us with any females you have in your life or males.
Exactly. Share the show. We're doing everything. We're doing things that is positive, and especially about stuff like this. And when people call in and the first thing they say is you, not really listening to the conversation.
And that's what you said, listening.
Right.
Listening is the
You have to
key.
start listening to a conversation. Anything. We are here to big up black women, okay? Because so many people do not. Society does not big up black women, okay? You have to understand that now. And so it's important that we use this platform to do that. And that's why this show was even started in the first place. We're going back to the topic. We got kind of far off the topic. We're talking about insecurities. Okay? And we talked about, 15 common insecurities. We talked about sexuality. We talked about... Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hang up?
So thank you for calling.
Oh, okay. We're talking about insecurity. We're talking about... sexuality, age, and then weight.
So that's one of the
3.
insecurities, number 3. So those are some of the insecurities that females have based on an article. Again, if you Google, and you're going to keep saying Google because that's the 21st century, right?
Right.
Everyone goes on the internet. Everyone puts in anything that you want. You
Google
put
is
on
now a
you find.
verb. It's like you use it as a verb now. If I'm going to Google something,
yes,
right? Yeah, all right. So it was weight, okay? So I'm just going to read it right here. It says the most obvious insecurity women have regards to own weight. Women always want to be skinnier, or no matter how gorgeous they are, they believe that they are overweight. Is that true, ladies? I want to know if that's true. Whatever's cooking smells delicious. They are constantly me and my vegan self. They are constantly looking for the newest fad diet or of watermelon, I don't think I like that, or high protein, low starch, or no carb, or vegan.
Vegan is there?
Right? No, it's not. But is that true? I think after, okay, give me a second. I'm on Instagram. I think after we have children, we have this insecurity about how much weight we gained and trying to lose it. But we're always trying to get back to where we was, or we're trying to go back to that first and want to be desired by our mate. Right? And if I'm wrong, ladies, I want you to chime in. I'm talking for myself right here. So if you're saying, you know what, I don't care about my weight, let me know. All right? Let me know. Teach me something. Okay?
I get in the scale.
You might be teaching me something. Like, listen, I've always been conscious about my weight, but I also feel that it was handed down to me that way. I always had to walk around with my stomach in, and I was always skinny. Well, I wasn't always skinny, but I was always... You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always, conscious about my midsection and my thighs and all that stuff. But it's also how comfortable you feel in yourself. And one thing, if I were to say anything, we have to be comfortable in our skin. If you want to lose weight, do something about it. If you want to keep your weight, fine. Let's be healthy, because we're out here dying of strokes, diabetes, and heart disease. Okay? And so those things affect you, of course, and weight does affect those different diseases. But we want to be comfortable and we want to love ourselves. And I know weight is a big issue, and it was a big issue with me, especially after gaining 50 pounds after each child.
50 pounds?
50 pounds after each child. Yep. Ooh-wee, I gained some more folk. Right.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of what you just was talking about. So I just underlined something in the article. Many women have not learned how to accept themselves outside of the norm of what is being projected on them. Instead, women have learned how to be catty and competitive with one another, with other women. So it's like we compare ourselves a lot. Well, not all people, but this is majority, right? Okay. We compare ourselves a lot to other people of what we see, and that's even like on TV. Like, if you look at TV like that, I know I look at magazines, I'm like, oh wow, I look like this. How can I get to this?
Right.
But it's, is obviously living healthy. Some people are like, oh, I'm on a diet. Like I no longer say I'm on a diet. I say I want to live it because you know I want to continue to strive to live so I can be that healthy 70-year-old, 80-year-old, 90-year-old, whatever, however long God give me to live. But at the end of the day, is we look at social media and think that is okay. I mean, even from young kids to adults, we have some adults out there that look at like, oh my gosh, that's what I want to look like, or not realizing. I mean, we're old enough to know like a lot of the magazines are what do you call it, not spray painted, but what do you call that? Photoshop, and that's, or like you look at all of the Instagram or Facebook. A lot of people don't take pictures of themselves like their own self is always a filter. Like everything is about a filter. Mm-hmm. So what are we saying about that? You know what I mean? So we filter everything.
I think because we live in an age of social media, right? Everything is out there. But one thing that's good about social media, it represents absolutely every single person if you put it out there. One thing about me, I practice yoga. And, I always thought back in the day that I could never be a yogi person, or whatever you want to call it, because I wasn't skinny enough, and I didn't see black women doing yoga. I only saw white, skinny women doing it. What we see now is black women, thick black women, doing their thing within the yoga community.
Mm-hmm.
There are things called Black Girl Yoga Movement, Black Girl Yogi, Chocolate Yogi. Like all these people, black women, are now doing this art form of stretching and meditation, and also getting healthy. And like I'm just starting to follow all these images, so that's cool, because before we didn't have those images. That's why representation is important. That's why we want to put ourselves out there that yes, you can look like me and do this. That's why the younger generation needs that, because our parents' generation didn't have that. They didn't have that. When they looked at TV, black women were women who were overweight and they were maids, okay? And they always had that, what you doing in my face kind of look. You know what I'm saying? The hair was tied up and all that stuff like that. That's basically their images, and they look around.
Your mom on the pan.
Exactly. That's what all they were. And those people who rose from that, you know what I'm saying? People, the flower that grew out in concrete, jumped above all that. That's what makes them so powerful, because they were shown images, and their whole entire, a lot of people were just brainwashed, and there are people who came out of that. You know what I'm saying? That became, what's the lady's name? Lena Horne, and became Shirley Chisholm's, all that, and they were shown that couldn't be that at all. So now we have the power, right? We have some power, and we're able to go out there and be vocal and show that we're not maids and stuff like that.
Say what up, Sisterhood Radio?
What?
Caller, you live. Talk to us.
What up, Sisterhood Radio?
What up, Sisterhood Radio?
The Sisterhood.
What's up?
I can't hear you. Y'all mad low.
Hello, can you hear us?
You got to say it with your chest. Nah, what up? What up? Just shouting y'all out. We checking out the show. It's real elegant and all that. Just giving a shout out to my lady Bex, my cousin LaRock, and my dude, brother from another mother, Power Boy All Star. We out of here, all right?
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling.
All right, deuces. Radio.
Yo, Warbucks sent me an audio clip, and I was like listening to it while I was talking. This dude should take up being a comedian.
Yeah, he should.
He's on that Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God.
So what we're gonna get to some music so we can give ourselves a little breather. We're gonna take some deep breathing yoga classes.
Instagram, I see you. I'm gonna get to your question, KUU9716. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to your question. We're on the way back. Stay tuned. This is the Sisterhood Radio.
Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with LaRock and Lady Bex.
I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to know that you are the I just want you to
dream is trying to tell me something, but will I ever stop thinking about it? I don't know. I doubt it. Subterranean by design. I wonder what I would find if I met you. Let my eyes caress you until I meet the thought of Mrs. Princess who often wonder what makes her work. I guess I'll leave that question to the experts, assuming that there are some out there, but probably alone, solitaire. I can remember when I caught up with a pastime intimate friend. She said, but you're probably gonna say I look lovely, but you probably don't think nothing of me. She was right though, I can't lie. She's just one of those
Sisterhood Radio Show.
And I'll just put her right back with the rest. That's the way it goes, I guess.
Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with LaRock and Lady Bex.
She just smile at me. I don't really know what it means. See, I'm in a bit of a limbo, but still I will make a move on this young lady. Can I get your number, girl? Can I get your number, girl? Can I get your number, girl? Me, I wanna call you. See, I want your number, girl. Can I get your number, girl? Can I get your number, girl? Me, I wanna call you. 656 54 7853. Ring, see, I'm already dialing, baby. Hello, 656 54 7853. Ring, see, I'm already dialing, baby.
My tender neck shot at tequila. The vibes tonight, yeah, so sweet, yeah. I'm on spot, the sweet señorita. When you bounce to the bass and the tweeter, she look muy bonita. The way she move remind me of Selena. She rocks so, she dips so. She only dance to reggae and calypso. Look how the dress hook up on her hips so. Look how she move fast and do it slow. Muy bonita, mamacita. Girl, boy, let me come behind you. Hey, me make she feel alright. Woulda dance all night if you want to. Hey, till the morning light. Love how you feel in front of me so. Girl, let me hold you tight. Look at up here, get in the arena. Number one girl, you are ballerina. Little girl, how you pick up Arena. She come the pion, waka waka baby, uru uru baby, corner baby. And I go tell my mama, and I go tell my papa, and I go tell am say, waka waka baby, chuku baby.
What you did to me this morning had me late for work. I'm stressing. Miss my meeting, all I'm thinking about is you.
won't forget. And I really love you. You should know. I wanna make sure I'm right, girl. That's right. Before I let go.
Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with Larock and Lady Bass.
That's right.
We at the family reunion. We at the family reunion. Telling jokes and playing spades. Uncle Dave is on the barbecue grill. Grandma bragging about the blanket she made for the new baby on her way. Even though the daddy ain't really ready, this child is coming.
347-708-0216. That's the number to get in contact with us.
Niecy made her famous potato salad. Somehow it turns out green. Maybe it's all the scallions, could be the celery. But oh, Uncle Jerome loves it. Hey, baby, baby, here comes my favorite cousin.
Take a minute, girl, come sit down and tell us what's been happening. In your face, I can see the pain. Don't you try to convince us that you're happy, yeah. We've seen this all before, brothers taking advantage of the passion. Because we come too far for you to feel alone, you to let it walk over your heart. I'm telling you, girl, I can tell you've been crying and you're needing somebody to talk to. Girl, I can tell he's been lying and pretending that he's faithful and he loves you. Girl, you don't have to be hiding. Don't you be ashamed to say he hurt you. I'm your girl, you're my girl, we your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
I look at you, you look at me.
You can tell me you ain't feeling butterflies.
It's obvious, that's some chemistry.
I think I know what it feels so right.
Girl, I wanted so long to know. Now you're telling me you gotta let it go.
Don't tell me I have to stop, although
You look like you about to rap, LeRock.
I'm about to spit out some bars right now. I'm
That's right.
You got the beat on Star. Right.
She ready.
I'm about to freestyle. I'm so long. I cannot do that for anything. I need my stuff written down properly in a notebook. Just like Nas, right? He writes his stuff in his was it rap book?
His rap book.
Whatever.
I got a little rap behind me.
But we are talking about right now insecurities that Black women have, and it's all women, but we're kind of going towards how it affects us, right? How it affects Black women. Right now, we went through a whole lot interesting callers that we had just a moment ago, but you know what? I love it. Call in, please do, and join the conversation. Call in at 347-708-0216. We are on iAccessRadio.com, streaming live right now. If you can see me, say hey. Well, I can't really hear you, but anyway. Ustream.tv. Go into the search engine. I want you to type iAccess Radio Live. They will view us live right now. It's awesome. I'm standing up because my knees hurt a little bit, so I had to stand up. Thank you for everybody who is checking us out on our Instagram page, the Sisterhood Radio, and also on our Facebook page. We're talking about Black women and insecurities, and we just finished talking about how what are we insecure about? Right? What are we insecure about? You know, we had first, there's 15 common insecurities that we have. And as Lady Bex and I were discussing it, some of this is not really pertaining to us. You feel me? And so we're trying to do things that's pertaining to Black women. And we want you guys to call in and to chime in on the conversation. We did say sexuality was one of them, age is another one, and weight. I think those are our top three, right, Lady Bex?
Yeah.
Also, I think we have another one, and this is shocker, but breast size. So that comes up to like body image, as well. We kind of just, put that all in the category of body image, and I think all women, we have this. Now, breast size, I'm not sure. Are we really insecure about breast size? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm comfortable with my breast size.
Right, I'm comfortable with mine. And I'm sure anybody who looks at me is comfortable with mine as well. So, I think...
Now you gonna just make me look.
That's right.
I'm so sorry.
You gotta remember, there's children that's listening.
I'm just saying, many, but it could be.
But some people do have some insecurities.
Have issues with that.
Yeah,
so I understand. We're not making fun of that.
They have the new like the mommy makeovers because sometimes when you have children and your breasts start sagging and you want to
on and popping like they were when we were 25. Once you have children, they swing low, swing chariot, but that's okay.
It's okay. I mean, as long as they have those push-up bras, I'm fine. I don't know about the cutting, but
that's right.
I'll wear a push-up bra in a minute. It makes me look like,
Well, any bra would do for me. Just put one on.
But there's some people are fine with their stuff.
Right.
It's just like, so this is allegedly, right? Mm-hmm. These are some of the things that some people, they're saying that some of us have insecurities about. Not all. So whatever we're discussing, so we don't want people to get offended and thinking that we're saying that this is all people. We just saying some, right? Not all. Some people are really, really strong and insecure,
right,
within themselves. And
I'll
then
say the majority.
The majority, and then we tend to grow into our securities, right? When we're younger, we have a whole lot of insecurities, and then we grow into securities. Like I feel like I'm secure, but there's some ways that I may be insecure about some things as well.
Right.
Caller, you live, Sisterhood Radio.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, sisters, I just was able to turn on. I'm so glad to hear you all on again today. We're talking about insecurities. We can't be really surprised about any area in which a sister may be insecure if her self-confidence is low. Because if it's low, any little thing she could be self-conscious about.
Right.
And so, it's a real thing out there that's keeping our sisters from moving forward. And once they realize how beautiful they are and who they really are and truly believe it, all of those insecurities, I believe, will disappear. So we have to make certain that we are supporting each other, uplifting each other, recognizing the strength and beauty that each of us has, because it's all different. And I'm glad it's different. I don't want to be looking at a clone of myself, you know, and that's what we need to do to help each other so we can get out of these insecurities and these other falsehoods that are out there that other people set up for us. And that's what I wanted to share with you all tonight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, what is your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Oh, sis.
I don't know. For some reason, it's low. I can hardly hear you. Well, let me see what's happening.
No.
She said,
I can hardly hear you.
She said, where are you calling from and
What's your name?
Right now, I'm calling from Manhattan, heading to Boogie Down Bronx. This is our sister Latifah.
Hey, Latifah. Hi.
I'm good.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for
Thank you for being on, sisters. I really appreciate you. Keep it going, because we need you out there on the wavelengths, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate you calling.
Peace and blessings.
All righty, thank you.
There's nothing like...
I'm going to go back on to the show now.
All righty,
Thank you so much. Nothing like people who call in and drop knowledge. I love that. Thank you.
Latifah is the bomb.
Oh, we appreciate you, Latifah. We definitely do. What you said was like gold, you know. Things as we grow, as we realize that our own beauty, we'll start to see those insecurities disappear. And that's very important that, you know, there's hope that we're not going to always be worried about weight and breast size and height or other foolishness that we are always so concerned about. We watch. I think as we get older, we realize that, right?
And knowing is half the battle. So if you can speak it into existence, you can change it. It's when you don't know that you are insecure, but if the world knows you are.
Right.
So you got to be able to accept it and say, you know what, I have an insecurity, and learn what type of strategy you can do to change it.
Right.
So that's why it's so important for us, like Latifah said, as Black women, to uplift ourselves,
right,
and uplift each other, because nobody else is doing it. So this is what this platform is for us to continue to uplift each other, have our callers call in and give us some great advice, give the audience, our audience some great advice to know that, you know, we have it. Sometimes we're born into it, right, into insecurities.
Yes.
And how we can uplift each other so that, you know, we can have a million secure women, Black women.
Right. And that's, you know, one thing what the caller said, Latifah said, that we have to support each other. That's so important, that we have to support each other. We have to, sometimes you got to say, you know what, like you tell me all the time, you support me all the time of all my crazy issues, right? Well, not crazy issues, but all my issues, you support me. But we have to definitely support each other. It's good that another Black woman is telling you, you know what, girl, you dope, you doing your thing, you have raising your kids, you paying this, and you know, somebody else is bigging you up. Because the world is not for us. The world is not going to be for, not saying, oh, what's love and protect the Black woman, please. We're last on the totem pole, we trust. So we have to basically, you know, support each other, going to these different platforms and sharing, you know, books that you've written and clothes that you designed. This is my jam right here.
And share your stories, right? Because
Exactly.
the only way we can uplift our youngsters is as adults and as youngsters who are being uplifted, we talk about it. So this is the panel for it. We can call in. You know, our goal is to go out there into the community and start, you know, what do you call it?
Advocating for Black young girls out there to grow up, and their insecurities that somehow it's been passed down to them will start to dissipate as they get older. I use my hands a lot. Sorry. But
she's a teacher.
Right, but we want that. We want, you know, people, like, we work with the youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We see, like, you know, it's so sad, though, I see a Black girl who is insecure about her color, about her dark color, about her beautiful color, when 30-some years ago, that was me.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is just going back and forth.
And it continues.
And it continues. So that we have to stop that, because society is not going to stop that. We have to.
As educating our youth to stand up or be there for each other too, right? Because our youth, a lot of our youth, the bullying is going on based on our young youth insecurity. So because they're insecure, they make someone else feel insecure. And what's happening, the horrible end result is a lot of our youth are hurting themselves and committing suicide because of bullying.
Exactly.
So we gotta really
calling you live, Sisterhood Radio.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the
I'm calling in to support my friend.
Hey, which one is your friend? Hello?
Hello?
What's your,
You're live. You're calling in to support your friend.
what's your name and where you calling from?
This is Dee Dee. I'm calling from the Bronx.
Hey, Dee Dee, what's up? This is Lady Vex.
What's going on?
What's going on? How you doing? So we're talking about insecurity. So I know you work with a lot of the youth, right? The youth and how so this show is about sisterhood and us uplifting our sisters. So you working as a counselor in the schools with our youngsters, and how sometimes there's a lot of self-esteem issues that they go through, and as adults we try to uplift each other, but we got to teach them from young that they have to learn how to become a sisterhood. Like you look around, all our brothers be like, "What's up, bro? How you doing? Good looking out."
Wait, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh no! Can everybody hear us out there?
Can you hear me?
Sound very cloudy.
Oh no! I don't know. Can you hear Mrs. LaRock? Can you hear me?
I hear you, but you do still sound very cloudy. But go ahead, finish. I'm trying to catch up with you. I heard about us working with young people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's working with young people young girls, right? To uplift our young girls. A lot of our young girls some of them have like low self-esteem. They deal with a lot of insecurities. And what they do sometimes in our schools is people who are insecure, they tend to bully our other kids and make them insecure. And the unfortunate end result is a lot of our youngsters are either committing suicide or doing things that are not okay, or hurting other people because they get so angry. So us trying to uplift our youngsters, because our youngsters become adults,
right?
And if we have those insecurities as youngsters, we grow up into adults with those same insecurities.
Exactly.
So we gotta meet them where they at to teach them different skills and coping skills so that we can change the face of our insecurities.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, we're talking about how the youngsters start out very young with these levels of insecurity.
Yeah.
And I'm in total agreement with you. And I feel like in supporting them, we have to consistently encourage them and let them know that, behaviors are learned.
Right.
And that it's okay to love themselves, if I'm hearing you correctly.
That's correct.
Because I'm in agreement with you.
That's correct. Thank you, caller.
And you know what else? As adults, we have a huge responsibility. As Black women, we have a huge responsibility to teach our children at certain moments of their life, of their lives. So, like you said, catch them at the middle school age, even before that, we have to catch them. They are sponges. Teach and instill that they are beautiful, they are strong, they are powerful. Teach that before they even begin to speak. And so when their first words should come out, it should be strong. You feel me? Constantly continue to talk to our youth, at this very small ages and in the early childhood stages. It's very important to spill that power into their brains. So when they get older, they already have it within them. Because we see how it is when they don't have it. We see what happens when they are given nothing. We see what happens when there's no self-esteem, there's no love, we see what happens. Both both Lady Bex and I, we both see the other side. And we're trying to constantly rebuild some children who already feel that they're broken. And it's hard to repair that. It's difficult, but we do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for calling so much. We appreciate your call. We appreciate your knowledge. And call us back again, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. This is the Sisterhood Radio, y'all. We're talking about Black women and insecurities. Talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We just like to chat and talk. Shout out to everybody listening on Facebook Live. Please make sure you go to iAccess Radio right now and listen to us. We are there. Go to ustream.tv. Click on iAccess Radio Live. And we are there. You can watch us live. Hello to everybody watching us live. Make sure you hashtag the Sisterhood Radio and also iAccess Radio. Hashtag that too and say that you're listening to LaRock and Lady Bex. What else do we want to talk about?
Yeah, and if you have any topics that you want LaRock and I to discuss on the air, We are free to. You can email us at the Sisterhood. Sisterhood speaks at gmail.com. So that's SISTAH. The Sisterhood speaks at gmail.com. And we will definitely research topics and we could talk about it on the show. If you can't get our Gmail, you can definitely hit us up on our Facebook page, social media. So if you put in the Sisterhood speaks.com and spell sister the normal way, it automatically goes to our Facebook page.
Right. Okay, so what I want to mention something. Let's continue in the other different insecurities we have, and it's kind of a heavy topic because when we're reading this, we're kind of like reflecting on it and bouncing back to us, right? We're saying, wow, do we really have that insecurity? Are we really insecure about that? We're kind of really thinking in heavy thought, like, wow, is this us? But it's good that we have that because we kind of make sure that we're not spilling that off to our children, and also make us look at each other like, you know what, do we really need to have that over our heads? Is it really that serious that we have to have some of these things over our heads? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are other challenges out there, and we should not be beating ourselves up. And I think women, one thing we do is we beat ourselves up. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we need to be a strong advocate for ourselves. We need to be
for everybody
right, because as women, naturally and historically, we always advocated for everyone else except for our own, for us, ourselves. So we want to make sure that we do that, and that's another reason. Another show that we did was called Self-Love, was make sure we are loving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? All these insecurities right here, we gotta figure out how to overcome this madness, because it will continue with us for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? How long are we gonna sit there and worry about how big our boobs are? Like, come on, for real? Okay? How long are we gonna sit there and worry about our weight? You know what I'm saying? Or how this looks, and our hair, and our texture of our hair. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? We got to recognize the beauty that was given to us, and we have to learn to love it. Find it within ourselves and love it. Listen to the Sisterhood Radio. We'll tell you. We'll follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I'll tell you to be great every morning. Everybody needs that encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to wake up with a good morning, beautiful. Even if your cousin got to tell you good morning, beautiful. Okay? It's not your boo thing.
Good morning,
your
sunshine.
cousin. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's right.
Somebody, we have to do that. We don't want any more sad faces or depression to come upon us or spread to our children. We see it every single day, Lady Bex and I. Yeah. So let's find ways that we can overcome these insecurities and start making sense of all this stuff. So this is the Sisterhood Radio. I'm La Rock. I'm from Jersey. That's
this
Lady
is
Bex.
Lady Bex, and I'm from the Boogie Down.
And that, okay.
DJ
Power Boy from the Bronx, born and raised.
And we're here. We're talking about insecurities and a bunch of things. Okay, please call us on the phone right now. We have a lot of interesting callers, which I'm good with. I'm cool with. I'm not a combative person. People may think. But
no, she's just passionate.
I'm passionate. I'm a Scorpio. First of all, I'm passionate than anybody. I'll tell you, my grits are better than your grits. Okay, so it's like I'm very compassionate about everything that I do, especially in regards to Black women and who we are as a people.
I just want to read this really fast. So, you don't need anyone's affection or approval in order to be good enough. When someone rejects or abandons or judge you, it isn't actually about you. It's about them and their own insecurities, limitations, and needs, and you don't have to internalize that. Your worth isn't contingent upon other people's acceptance of you. It's something inherited. You exist, and therefore you matter. You're allowed to voice your thoughts and feelings. Okay, Lara? You're allowed to do that.
That's right.
You're allowed to assert your needs and take up space. You're allowed to hold onto the truth that who you are is exactly enough. And you're allowed to remove anyone from your life who makes you feel otherwise. So you have those people who make you feel insecure or make you feel a certain type of way, remove them from your life because they are not for you.
And say that to your children when they are having, different situations and altercations with people at their school. Teach them that now. Teach them that strength right now so they won't grow up still tagging on with people who put them down and thinking that's their friend. It's good to instill that in our children at any age. If they don't like you, if they talk down about you, then move away. There's other people in this world who love you.
Exactly.
You know that? So let's make sure that we are passing that message and that positive message down to our children. I was going to say daughters, and I can't help but to say of daughters because when I speak to, I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking to my younger version of myself. Like I wish, I can go back into time and say to young LaRock, and be like, girl, I want you to love yourself, girl. I wish I can just do that. Someone just shake me up, just shake me. It's like Chris Rock said. Someone just shake me up and say that. And so now we have an opportunity to share that amongst our youth and our children right now. To make sure we do that. Any more insecurity that we have? Guys, I see a lot of people on my Facebook Live right now. You want to call in, please call in at 347-708-0216. You have insecurities that you want to say something that you overcame. Men are allowed to call. It's okay. It's called the Sisterhood. It's all right, though. But just call anyway. We got a DJ.
That's right.
We have a DJ that's
he's a man.
Do we still call those ones and twos? I don't know. Do we? Do we still say that? What? Ones and twos?
Yeah,
on the ones and twos. Okay, maybe
Pump it up.
So 1s and 2s is available. Pump it up.
That's so funny. What time is it?
It's about what time is it?
Uh-oh.
10:08.
Hey, it's 10:08. We have just a little more time left, guys. Please, if you want to call us in, we got like at least 2 callers can call us right now. I give the number again, 347-708-0216.
No, this is the last one.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so 2 more things that I'm just going to go over quickly. That some other insecurities that, we read these in different articles with different opinions about this subject. One thing that's listed on here is about dating. And I know that on my Instagram Live, they were talking, some gentleman was asking about dating and insecurities, and that's a very tough subject, and how can we overcome that when dating? That's very tough,
It's actually an article that they have out here about dating and insecurity.
Right. And, it says something like, we can tell a woman she is so beautiful, but still she believes that she is not for a reason. Maybe something that happened to her that she felt that she was not beautiful. And they could be with a good man, and they could be,
I could say
a beautiful woman. Go ahead.
I can say one thing. Sometimes when you are in relationships that are toxic and people make you feel insecure.
Right.
So we talked about a topic about baggage. You tend to bring that baggage into a new relationship. So you can have an amazing man and he's trying to uplift you in all areas, but because you still have that baggage and you still have not let that go, sometimes it's really difficult for you to become secure. Not until it's like, you have that person that's like, no matter if you say that you don't look good or whatever it is, and they continue to uplift you, eventually all those insecurities die down. And I'm just saying that from experience, where I went into a relationship feeling a little bit insecure.
Okay.
And my lovely husband,
he
has uplifted me to those insecurities that I did have. Eventually went out the window. So it happens, but it's over time, and it was him staying and not leaving because I was insecure.
Right.
And continuing to say, let me know that I'm beautiful, that he loves me, show me everything that he can to make me want to overcome those insecurities. So if that answered that man's question.
Yeah.
So sometimes you, even though it's difficult and it's hard, like you just want to give up, sometimes you gotta know that any relationship that you come into, there's going to be some type of baggage, either baggage from the man or baggage from the female, and you just can't run away. You have to try to stick it out. I mean, as long as they're not abusive.
Right. Abusive. Exactly. That's a whole different topic, y'all. But all in all, ladies out there, let's try to, first of all, overcome these insecurities. It might take some time. Think about what you're insecure about and try to overcome that. Okay? Because some of those things could, weigh us down. It can affect our life, our insecurities. in a great deal. Our relationships, our relationships, our career. Write down what you're insecure about, and also start scratching these things off as you feel like you have overcome. And what kind of things can you do to overcome these insecurities? If you have to have a soul sister call you in the morning and tell you that you're going to be a great speaker on your job today, and they're going to big you up, have them do that. Tell somebody, have an accountability partner, your BFF or somebody just tell you, listen, I need some support in this area. You know what I'm saying? Have your husband or your boo thing, say, listen, I need some support in this area. Have them help you. If they love you, they will. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And post it, self-affirmations.
Yes.
For yourself.
Post it.
Post it in your bathroom. Post it in your mirror. I am beautiful. My daughter's 13, and I remember from young, 4 years old. I saw a princess spin her around. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are amazing. And to this day, I always ask her, what are you? I am beautiful. I am strong. So we have to input and instill that into our youngsters.
Ingrain it right in their thoughts.
Our young boys. Yeah. Just so, your mind will always believe everything you tell it. Oh, that's a quote. Oh, that's a quote. So your mind will always believe everything you tell it. Feed it faith. Feed it truth. Feed it with love. So you got to tell yourself. Whatever you tell yourself, you believe it.
You are listening right now to the Sisterhood Radio. We are on iAccess Radio. We're here every other Friday from 8 to 10. Follow us on all social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook and on Facebook Live right now. Thank you so much to our DJ right now.
That's right.
DJ All-Star.
Anytime,
And Lady Bex, we're closing out. Our next show will be to be announced. A lot going on in the month of March. Make sure you hug a woman. Tell them that you love her and you respect her. Tell grandma you respect her and you thank her. Even though she used to tear your behind up as a young child, she was doing that alone. Made you stronger.
I just want to shout out my mom all the way in Connecticut. I didn't know she's tuned in.
Hey, what's up?
So, Mr. Jesus, Dane, yo, wow. Surprised me with that.
Hey, we love him.
We do. He's amazing.
This is the
so we can go. Give us a little song to go out on.
Yeah.
That's the rock music right there.
Right. Let's go, Jersey. Hey, the Sisterhood Radio. Peace out. Unbossed and unbothered.
Don't you remember, girl? I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. You sent me someone who really loves me, and not just my body. He keeps me happy, so very happy. He loves me. I don't know how to be. It's been a long time since I had someone who loves me. I owe my thanks to you. The remix king. Oh, it couldn't happen without your love. Ooh, without your love. It took a long time for it to happen, but I knew those nights of pain that you sent me someone who's real and not the one for play. I kept the faith and didn't worry. My nights grew longer than the days until one day it really happened. Since you love my lady, I know it couldn't happen without you.
Sisterhood Radio, Unbossed and Unbothered with LaRock and Lady Bex.